All right, we did Lamborghini before. This one's going to be rock and roll radio. Now, that was one of my riffs, right? That was the song I came up with. Yeah. Lyrics. I can't remember. You came up with lyrics, yeah?
Yeah, I came up with some of them.
We did a bit of both, but the initial idea.
Yeah, when I got stuck, I said I can't do it anymore.
No, that's it. But I can't remember how because I remember the riff, and then. I think I remember actually. No, I do now. I remember sitting at your dad's in that room when I came up with the riff, and then we started mucking around with things. And you're like, "Oh, it could be like a rock and roll radio thing." Yeah. And then it came from that.
Yeah, she loves rock and roll radio.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then as most of our songwriting happens is we'll have a session and work on stuff, and then during the week I'll get a call from Red like 6 a.m. Fuck, I just had this idea. I'm like, oh, when they're waking up, you wake?
Yeah, I'm up a bit earlier.
That's fine. I'm usually up, but yeah, it's and then you'll say, oh, she loves rock and roll radio, all right on my stereo.
And at work, this the other job I had, there was a really good bloke I was working with. He was the boss. He was really nice, Darren, and he said, and he played all this real strange rock. I don't know what it was. It was really weird.
Know any bands or what?
No, I never heard of them. They're like somewhere from Pluto somewhere. I don't know. And they're talking about swords and fighting and
hell yeah.
That's what the song's about. I don't know.
The Sword is a band I listen to, so it might be that.
I don't know. It's really weird, but they had these vocals in there. Go, all these voices going, whoa, whoa, we fight with the swords and we, whoa. It's like, and I'm like,
yes.
This is the worst shit I've ever heard. What the hell? What do you think of that one? Not much.
I'm thinking it's time for break, isn't it?
And I got the idea from doing that in rock and roll radio, where a lot of voices sing the same kind of whoa-ohs bits.
Those bits we got there. That.
Yeah,
wow,
so that came.
So it mustn't have been too bad then. So.
Oh, that was bad. No, because every song was about swords, fighting, going out on the horses and castles, and it's just ridiculous.
I know of a couple of bands in my band.
And they're huge in Europe, apparently.
Might be Barbarian.
Yeah, they got the photo.
They're dressed up like that.
Dressed up like that.
It could be the
big Ugg boots on.
Barbarian, it might be. Yeah, I think it's Barbarian. There's a couple.
Oh, it could be, but it was.
Barbarian was it? There's Lordy.
I mean, the vocals are incredible. Yeah, it's just singing about the same thing all the time.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
horses, swords, saddles.
But yeah, so rock and roll radio. So I can't actually remember. That's why we should have record our thoughts on this earlier, because it's all I remember was coming up with the riff. You came up with the idea of that. She loves rock and roll all night on a stereo. Then we both did the verses, and then I think I did the chords sort of stuff. That and then we sort of built out that. Then we wanted that's right. Then Red said the stereo. How does that go again? The woes.
Oh, the woes. Yeah.
Whoa.
And
whoa.
And that worked.
Right, yeah.
I can't believe it worked.
So that turned out good. And I haven't actually put reverb on them yet. So they're actually as they are.
Yeah, but they sound great.
They sound good. So I'm actually right. That's probably the next.
Is there enough on there? Enough of the voices?
Yeah, that's fine. I think it's actually going to be filled out by the reverb. But I've done reverb now. I'll probably show you just after we do some of these videos. I'll show you an updated. I've done reverb. So I just started. I can't. It's fucking another thing. My heart went to my mouth again. I was putting in the next lot of those the reverses, and then I changed something and I didn't want to do that, and it selected the entire track, and it moved all of the notes on that track forward. So I went to go back to play. I'm like, oh no, it's all out of whack again. Luckily, it was only I just had to move them all across one, but I was like, I've done it again. I've wrecked something.
That's like a wait here moment. I want you to wait here, make sure he doesn't.
It was. It just freaked me out because I was like, so much. I'm really good with technology. But
I hate it when someone's really good with technology and I'm sitting there and they go, because I'm not, I'm crap.
Yeah.
And they go, what's happened?
That's So I'm having a lot of those moments with Logic. For some reason, it's not Logic in my head. Logic Pro, the digital audio workstation is. I'll do some things in it and I've changed it somehow and I don't know what I've done, and that's rare. I'm usually pretty switched on, so There is actually into that. There's a log history thing you can do in it. I'm going to turn that on so I can actually see what's going on. Anyway,
but it worked.
Yeah, so I got that working. So I've started putting them in together, and then I got a phone call, so I didn't get too much further. But then I did. Before I got the phone call, I put reverb on the overheads because it sounds weird now because I've got this big boom sha boom sha at that, and then it pretty much goes back to all flat drums.
Right.
So I wanted a bit more of
a little bit,
space.
So it'll sucked out.
So I've put it on the overheads, and it's sounding pretty good. Yeah. So I just want to get your feedback on what you think it sounds like. And then I was saying in the video update this morning, which I just told you in the last one, which is about how long it's taking, is next I want to go, I'll do a little bit more today on the drums, and then I'm going to start doing the vocals.
Yep.
That, and then I should be okay. And then I'm going to start, this is my first song I'm actually going to pass out to other people who I know, obviously yourself, but then I've got a couple of mixers or people that muck around in music. I'm going to give it to them. A couple of people that I respect their opinion on to get feedback on the mix.
But when you were talking about darkness, you can refer off them for vocals because they sound good, their vocals. They sound really good.
Yeah.
It
depends on the song. For this song, well, what did I pick now? I've done Def Leppard, so Photograph Music as a reference track for this song. Yeah. And that's got great vocals in that. That's all Def Leppard are. A lot of their songs have got really good vocals. But so that's that. So that's Rock and Roll Radio. I don't think there's much more to say on that. That came from just a riff and then an idea of putting something together. It wasn't, again, it's kind of a made up one, but it's not, it's different to what you're saying before about the best songs are the ones that come from a real place. This one is a bit of fabricated in a way, but it's also a combination of what we like about rock and roll music. Yeah. And it's a bit of a celebration of that.
Yeah, it is. And, the drums at the start with the gong drum and the reverse snare. And then that woes, that's a big part of the song. That come from the riff too. It come from my idea. Because I was just driving along going, whoa.
Yeah, because you're humming it.
Actually, that might work. And then it did. And then I remembered all these, weird bands doing these woes. And I thought, that. And then when you did it, sounds cool. Yeah. If it didn't sound cool, we wouldn't
do it. The other thing to say on that song is the what would you call it? The bridge, the breakdown, when it goes into the faster tempo. Because I love... I quite often come back to playing on guitar or singing to myself, am I ever going to see your face again?
Yeah.
Like just those good shuffles, and they're like, or even a status quo song where I just love it. Love shuffles getting in there and just it picks up the speed and energy.
The song goes to a certain point, and then when it comes out of that, that's exciting. It's
Well, it does that to the whole song, doesn't it? It's that because it's that.
And I love half-time rhythm. That connect to a full-time rhythm. So.
Yeah. And is it double time for that? Later bit? Yeah, so then it's double time and then it goes back into the half time. Boom, boom.
Yeah, that was hard to do too because the click track going boom, boom, and I had to go in between that click.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It worked out all right.
Yeah.
But
that's rock and roll radio.
Song, that.
Yeah, so that's going to be good. So stay tuned. Next.